Okay, so this is my harvest for the year. I think I started the year a little bit late, but I do have about, I don't know, a couple liters. I think maybe 5 or 6 liters of ice, frozen sap. So the sap is about 97% water. So I've got to boil this down. But first thing I got to do is I got to melt it and then filter it. Then I'm going to boil it down. And then open it up. I'm sorry, it's such a shaky camera. And into the pot. Alright, so interesting bit of science. The way ice wine is made is that frozen grapes are crushed. And what happens is the sugar remains in sort of a nectar inside the grape. Now I noticed that at the bottom of these there's a good amount of liquid. And I actually tasted it. And it is quite sweet. And so I think a lot of the sugar has actually settled to the bottom of this in an unfrozen state. And so I'm actually gonna pour some water in here and shake it around and then pour that in my mixture too, because I need as much sugar as I can get out of this. Okay, there's my giant pot of ice. Now to pick it up. Put it on the stove and turn it on. Alright. Okay, so I've learned that filtering is not an easy thing to do. And so here's my solution. I've got coffee filters right here. I'll take my largest ones. I'm going to stick them in here. I'm going to put another cup in here. I'll get it lined up better afterwards. And I'm going to have a hole in the plastic cup on top and the plastic cup on the bottom and the filter held firmly in between. And that's how I will do all of my filtering. Hopefully it will work. She's all barky. Okay. I'll let you know when I have my filtering contraption built. This is totally not the right tool for the job, but whatever. Boy Scouts taught me never to cut towards yourself. Oh, this plastic is so brittle. Alright, well that's good enough. All I need is a somewhat semi-solid structure. Okay, so that's one. Now for part 2. Hope I'm recording this. Oh good, I am. Alright, so there's that. Coffee filter goes like so. And then I just gotta, actually it'll be easier if I go like this. Put this around this and shove it in there. Now all I have to do is make sure that the water level doesn't go above the level of that filter, and the filter will get to do its job. Okay, so still got a good amount of ice in here. I've also got a lot of water. Look at that. There it goes. Alright, that's the last of the, that's the last of the filtration. It is going right now, and it's just about done. You can see a lot of crap that collected in there. That's the third filter I switched to because the others were getting so clogged with sediment. But alright, the next step will be pretty much sanitizing my stuff, making sure that it is good for food and food storage, and then start boiling this stuff off. Alright. Okay, so I've got my stainless steel boiling kettle right here. I've got my secondary steel pot here for when that reduces to that. I've got my candy thermometer. I need to boil it until it gets to 212 degrees. That's going to be 219 degrees, 7 degrees above boiling. The reason why that's important is because as the temperature increases, it goes through a change to its chemical structure, which requires energy. That includes the water boiling off and the sugar, I believe it's caramelizing, although I'm not totally sure. And that happens at exactly 219 degrees. So I will be looking for that exact moment. So I read a little bit on the internets about skimming the top of this once it started boiling, and I didn't really take it too seriously because I thought they meant skimming like sugar crystals or something like that. I'm not sure if this is what they were talking about, but I'm now at about 90 degrees Celsius, and I'm starting to see a little bit of rippling on the surface. You can see that too in the shadow right there in the middle. Just these things that are hanging out on the surface. Not sure what they are, but it's kind of weird. Okay, so I just skimmed off some of the stuff that's on the top. Sorry about all the fog. Skimmed off some of the stuff that's on the top, and it turns out that it's actually quite sweet flavored, like on its own. So A, that means it's coming from the sap, not from dust or anything like that. And B, I think I'll allow it. I am okay with a little bit of crap floating on the top of my syrup as long as it tastes good. I mean, so yeah, delicious crap on the top. So in the videos that I've seen of this, they're using more of like a cookie sheet than a giant pot in order to do their boiling. And I definitely see why, because we've got these big edges here acting like a giant radiator, and the amount of fluid in there is losing a lot of heat faster than this can provide it. So I switched over to a cookie tin here. I took the rest of the liquid from there and I put it on a pot on the stove, which you can see right there with a slow zoom. Okay, so the water is boiling down here. Several cups have boiled off. I noticed that you can't really see it, but 2 cups will make the water level go from the 60 to the 80 on the thermometer. The water level, not the temperature level. So I've boiled off 4 or 5 cups so far. The cup is, let's see, a cup is about 237 milliliters, according to that, which you can't really read. And yeah, so stuff is progressing slowly. I estimate it'll pick up once we have less fluid to deal with. So yeah, still keeping an eye on it. So the other issue I have to deal with is that when I close the lid to this, it does become warmer in here, but it's still not quite enough to get this to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. As a result, all that really happens is an increase in the humidity inside here and less steam coming off. So it's actually doing me better to have this open and having better airflow so that the drier air can come in and facilitate the evaporation of the hot water into steam. Okay, new strategy. I've moved indoors because it seems that my grill wasn't grilling as well as it could have. So this is working a lot better for me. Look at all that steam. Way better. So one cool thing about water, and pretty much all chemicals, is that if you want to change states, that is go from liquid to steam or from solid to liquid, it takes energy. And what that means is that that water is at exactly 212 degrees, or actually a little less if there's impurities in the water, such as the stuff that makes the maple syrup. So if I want to check the temperature, or if I want to check the level of this water and it's boiling right up to the rim and I can't really see, all I have to do is pour in a little bit of colder water and it stops boiling for a second, and I can see, okay, there's a 1/4 inch of water in there, maybe a little bit more. Pretty neat. Okay, so that is all of the maple syrup. Now I just have to wait for it to get to 217 degrees and then I start bottling. I've got all of my jars boiling right there. Alright. So it's kind of ridiculous how little is left, but still boiling, still going, and but hopefully there will be more than an ounce left by the time I'm done. Okay, so all of that sap has been boiled down, and here it is. The little jars were in boiling water, and so hopefully those are sanitized and bacteria free. And yeah, it got me some maple syrup. Hooray! I know it's not much, but single serving jars, I guess.